Dear brothers of planet Earth, I am Anumani, the solar being. I bring along with me light, a lot of light. And at this moment I fill the heart of everyone who is listening to me with love, with surrender, with this ball of light. My brothers, the light is powerful. Imagine that today, at this moment, a rain of blessings is falling on this planet. There are many codes of light and these codes are available to everyone. There are no restrictions. There are no judgments. They are falling into and penetrating the physical bodies of all Earth's inhabitants. What do these light codes bring? Mainly love, mainly liberation, conscience, truth. And what changes do these codes bring to you? The need to be truthful, the need to look at everything without judgment of any kind. And when you act in a contrary way, your body feels it, your mind complains, there is discomfort in your whole body, because what you have just done is being contrary to what you are receiving. Now let it be very clear, the more your heart has love, the more your heart has light, the more codes are absorbed. It is as if your heart were a magnet that attracts those codes that are arriving, but not a magnet as you know it, a magnet that attracts energies of the same power. So the more you vibrate love, the more you vibrate light, the more codes you receive and you are prepared more and more to act within the precepts of light. Whatever is outside, bothers, brings internal disharmony, brings imbalance. Pay attention to your bodies, don't see everything you are feeling as a disease. If the doubt is too big, look for those who can remove it. But don't take everything your bodies show as illness. Your bodies are also changing and are slowly adapting to all this light, transforming into a crystalline body, and this change is not easy or simple for your carbon-based bodies. The etheric structures of your bodies are being modified, first to resonate with all of this incoming energy, and lastly your physical body. Notice that when you are calm, peaceful, emanating love and joy, your bodies seem to do the same. You are feeling vigorous, balanced, without inharmonious needs. Now, when you get out of the way, your body responds with imbalances, with needs that are no longer what you should actually be consuming. So be aware that every time you feel like ingesting something that you know is not for this journey, your body is out of balance. He is looking for these substances, something that he doesn't know, but that he believes he can rebalance himself with them. So be very careful. It's not that it's forbidden for you to ingest such substances, but be careful not to make yourself slaves to them, not to create new habits, because your body is all that's what he knows. Then he will tend to do it, slipping, eating wrong, acting wrong. So pay close attention to what you want to eat, to ingest. Is it real or will? Something that happens sometimes, or is it something you are repeating often? Something isolated doesn't do much harm. Now something constant starts hitting your own body. Because it is imbalance, when trying to balance but you eat something that is not good, the imbalance increases and you will tend to eat more and more of what you shouldn't. So, a good solution, when you feel like eating something that you know is not good, eat something alive, a fruit. A fruit is alive. Even outside the tree it is alive. If it weren't, it wouldn't rot. It just doesn't receive energy from the place where it was planted. But it still exists. It still lives. So eat living things. Always have a fruit on hand. As a last resort, if you don't like any fruit, then drink water. Fill your body with water. I guarantee that balance will come and you won't cause any more imbalance. Pay attention to what is happening to your bodies. Now, an important point is that many have a hint of doubt. As I said that everyone is absorbing these codes of light, the question is, who is not of the light also absorbs? I would prefer to believe that you would already know this answer. The codes of light are descending for everyone, but they penetrate where the heart is illuminated. Where it is not, it is exactly the opposite. They hit and leave. They do not penetrate because the energy there is incompatible with them. Light codes, they are falling. As I said, there is no discrimination. Now to penetrate your bodies, it depends on the heart. It depends on the light that is emanated by each heart. It depends on the intensity of the light that is emanated. If you emanate a lot of light, you absorb many codes. If you emanate little light, you absorb few codes. Everything is proportional. We cannot forget the choices, and each choice is always respected. So pay attention to your bodies. Pay attention to what you vibrate. Don't become even more unbalanced by attending to your body's desires, because they don't know what they ask for. Remember, your bodies are still in the third dimension and they know pleasure, the pleasure of eating certain things that are tasty for you, but not healthy, so be careful. Watch your imbalances, watch how your bodies react. This is a way for you to keep yourself more absorbent of all these light codes. The more balanced the body, the more codes penetrate and the more the transformation takes place. And you become more and more enlightened beings, powerful beings, ready to know how to discern what is right and what is wrong. Make your choices and reap the results. Channel, Bonnie Rodriguez.
Greetings. From heart to heart in this moment we speak, I am charged. The information expressed here is that of my perspective, my point of view. For all truth awaits you in your heart. Tune into the light within you. The intensification of energies in this process has already entered a new level. This will continue for the next 3 years or so, with shorter and shorter breaks in between energetical downloads and times for integration. The world will tremble as mass cleansing activity increases, on a personal as well as on a collective level, including Earth herself. Weather and earthly changes being more frequent throughout the world. Focusing on raising one's frequency is paramount at this time. This way you know the steps and vibrations to the dances of spiritual evolution, flowing and finding your balance amidst the storms. Do not give into the fear and chaos unfolding in the outer world. Your capacity for holding light and love continues to increase as you cleanse and release more of the old. In turn, you are able to reach and touch more along the way. Regardless if you do not speak to people, simply crossing paths with them, at a store, park, anywhere, the light you hold touches their magnetic field and is picked up by them. This creates ripples in their consciousness and their heart, creating triggers for higher awareness in them, propelling them to seek more. You are here to rise, as you have done so in times prior. You are here to assist Earth and humanity with all that you do, to show the way of the light. Breathe in light, breathe out love. Forgive all, send your light and love to all. Free yourself from the burden and low-frequency thoughts of anger, hate, revenge, which come from a place of fear and inner suffering. Allow those thoughts and energies to come to the surface, observe them, and see each one transforming into light. Love and fear will not continue to coexist for much longer on Earth. The splitting of worlds is to become quite evident even for those unaware of the process of ascension. The signs are to be overwhelming. Raise your frequency, rise with the Earth, feel the new waves of light flowing towards you, and portals open into new realms and experiences for greater expansion. This is it. You are ready to take flight and hold the world on your wings. Entering the new reality of paradise, completing the mission, uplifting the galaxy and beyond in the higher planes of existence. Showing the universe what once was thought impossible, humanity emerging from the darkest timelines, was made possible by you. What you have done and continue to do on Earth is sending waves of light, love, hope, and joy to creation as a whole. In every thought, word, and action, let love be your intention. Talk about ascension symptoms. The last few days it has really intensified. The energies are intense, and Friday I was talking with a friend who wanted to know what I was experiencing. In turn, I wanted to know what she was noticing. Turns out, we were both feeling weird. Independently, we'd both come up with that word to describe how we were feeling. And then, online, I saw that someone who writes about this process said she was also feeling weird in these energies. Now, just a note, if you look at the etymology of that word, weird, it means to become and having the power to control destiny. So this is super interesting, that as I struggled to find a word to describe how I felt before I talked to my friend, the word weird rose up. And even though I was using it to describe some feelings I couldn't describe very well, that word contained in it the seed of what was taking place, our becoming, our moving into our ability to create our new lives and our new worlds. It is so interesting how this process works, and how clearly we are guided, again and again, to where we need to be. This whole process feels so orchestrated by our incredible higher guidance and support, who seem to be holding signs that read, right this way. You're doing great. This whole process feels so orchestrated by our incredible higher guidance and support. But back to the symptoms that have been so intense in these last few days. Here's what we're going through. Incredible fatigue, pressure in the head, ear ringing has subsided but occasionally comes back, unsteadiness or tippiness, and my friend said she has to keep grounded. I've been wanting to eat lots of carrots, and any vegetables grown in the ground are considered grounded. Also, there's an inability to focus, and thus we both have gone back to having a little bit of caffeine to help with that. She said she's also been eating junk food, which for her is probably organic chips. I've been also eating some salty foods like chips after not eating any salt for quite a while. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves, as Don Miguel Ruiz said in the Four Agreements, always do your best. Whatever that is. Sometimes we need a little help. And we are not perfect. And there is no instruction manual for this process. We are literally feeling our way as we go. Important to remember. All that said, here's what I'm hearing about this. The process has amplified. There is much happening now. Never forget it is happening because of you and for you. You have come to make it happen, and you are creating it. This seems simple enough, yet it is complex and involves the complete shift of your way of being. You are already there, in one sense. Your heart is there in the way you are seeing the world. Your physicality is catching up with you. You've gone through the shift into your new crystalline light bodies, and you are learning to create. The amplification continues to lift you even higher. You are discovering how easily your thoughts now bring about what transpires in your reality. You are able to see this, and it's happening all the time. You are arriving at the point where you completely accept this and realize that yes, you are creators. We've all had experience creating, through painting, writing, photography, music, cooking. There are so many ways. But now we see we are creating the entire tapestry by using our inherent power and ability to create. By using our restored, light-infused divinity to bring our thoughts into physical being. And as our numbers grow, this will have a greater impact. So take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Know that you are closer with each passing day. The magic that you wanted to connect with is here. By Terry Andrews. As we progress through the shift, the greatest transformation in human history, more and more mysteries of higher consciousness are being revealed to those who search within themselves. The very structure of God's universe is becoming clearer. For example, we can now understand that there are distinct stages of consciousness that make up the universe. These layers of awareness exist so that infinite being, the ultimate state of God consciousness, can explore life through our eyes, our ears, and all of our senses. Infinite being is the all-encompassing consciousness from which the universe was created. Everything in the universe is made of consciousness. Just as each snowflake is unique, so is each person. Your primary purpose in life is to experience life from one individual, unique point of view. You are an expression of infinite being as it experiences itself from all possible viewpoints. We are all, each and every one of us, aspects of the one as it views itself from an infinite number of viewpoints. The adventure called life is how we explore, spiritually blindfolded, within the theater of life, searching for the lost link that will lead us back to that from which we came. Despite all external appearances, life is a game, a grand game. As a game, it can be examined and better understood. Then, it can be played better. The purpose of the game is to grow through experience. The end result of infinite growth is to realize our oneness with the underlying source of all reality, that of infinite being. Therefore, the meaning of life is growth in consciousness. Violan Waters.
I, Michael, blend and merge my own unique presence with the energies of Yeshua and with the soul of our human friend called Bob. In this blending, we create a sacred triangle to remind you that this relationship is available to each and every one of you. As our presence descends into this magnificent, physical reality, we celebrate this opportunity to share with you how all of life is changing and evolving. It is a unique time in the history of creation. It offers a profound resolution for so many souls that have yearned to return home. To feel embraced by the presence of unity consciousness which supports the existence of home or the kingdom. We speak to you using words that are familiar and as well another language that is being shared alongside these words. A language that the human being has all but forgotten. It is sacred, ancient and multifaceted. It is spoken by your own consciousness before your mind is able to describe it for you. It communicates through your feelings a knowingness that does not doubt its nature. We invite those in this room and all that will be reading these words to also feel what is not being spoken. For these words can only inspire you to allow this presence into your life. It is with great joy then that we enter this part of your planet that is enjoying the vibrant qualities of spring. We relish merging our presence with different aspects of Gaia. Feeling the new growth, blossoming potentials, and the unyielding passion to become more of what is. Within her nature, we are often drawn to the family consciousness of trees. Such a grand example of beings who never waver from being in receivership. We feel their roots descend deep into the rich body of Gaia that serves as a foundation to support their lofty perspective. It brings us much joy to feel how the family of trees fully embrace life. As their roots descend, it is not common that they encounter the family of rocks. It might appear that these rocks are denying or interfering with the growth of the tree. If this were true, perhaps the trees would simply raise their limbs and declare, "Woe is me, I have encountered a hard place in my life." If these rocks aren't removed or destroyed, we trees will perish. But the tree does not feel betrayed by life simply because it has encountered a hard place in its growth. The sweet, tender roots of the tree accept the rocks. They embrace life, all of life, and find a way to coexist with the rocks. The tree does not ask life to provide a map that would allow it to see the path of least resistance for its own growth. The tree embraces the mystery of life. The tree doesn't force itself upon the rock, it trusts that life will support it. We also find great joy in merging and blending with the family consciousness of flowers. At this time of year, they open their fragile, delicate petals that expose the very heart of their existence to the intensity of light. They expose themselves to all the elements of life. We have yet to meet a flower that hesitated opening itself for fear that the sun's rays would burn its delicate features. The flower doesn't ask for a weather report to determine if the direction of the wind is ideal before expressing itself. The family of flowers openly reveal their unique beauty despite the external conditions of life. It is also our joy to blend our presence with the family of birds. It is at this time of the year that they spend so much energy supporting their newborn. They don't worry about where they will find their nesting materials or how to feed their newborn. They embrace life with a profound knowingness that life supports life. It is through these beautiful creatures that we often speak to you, dear human. Humanity still makes time to listen to the song of the bird. These songs remind each of you that joy is real and sacred. We also love to merge and blend our presence with the family of humanity to remind you that you are never alone and that each of you represent a unique aspect in all of creation. Nothing exists quite like you. You are indeed irreplaceable. We offer ourselves in relationship with each of you to remind you that each of you carry the very seeds for new growth, unrealized potentials, and unfulfilled passions. Yeshua has spoken about the need to declare your own truth. Nature freely shares its truth. It enjoys life. The truth that you inherited from your social, political, and religious institutions denies you, for the most part, this simple truth. These inherited beliefs can feel like boulders in your life. Many of you have attempted to remove them only to discover that they grew larger in size. Some of you have heard that these hard places in your life make your life miserable and intolerable. If you can't fight the boulders, then what is the point of living? When we entered our partner's life, his truth was that he was not qualified to represent these teachings. His personality was very shy, intimidated by large groups, and always had difficulty speaking in front of people. His personality suggested that surely there were others far more qualified. We persisted, however, and for many years reminded his personality that we didn't have any problem with all of these perceived flaws in his character. A time comes in the life of a human being when they must ask themselves, is this shyness my truth? Is feeling timid and uncertain my truth? In our last meeting, Yeshua invited each of you to give a voice to your truth, and many of you were honest enough to say that you don't know what your truth is. To discover your truth, many of you feel it is necessary to unravel your personal story, one page at a time, to expose the lies you have inherited. We ask you, is this really your truth? Do you believe that you will find your soul nature by reliving your past? There is another way. It doesn't require any of you to do battle with the hard places in your life. We simply ask, are you willing to embrace life? Are you willing to befriend Gaia, nature, and also trust that life loves to support itself? Being in receivership invites you to recognize how you do receive from life with each breath. Are you willing to experiment by placing your attention on your in-breath and feel how life does support you? Practicing this very simple but potent exercise will radically change your experience of life. You will discover that when you place your attention on being in receivership, it naturally puts you in the moment. You will also discover that very few human beings choose to live in this moment. They are preoccupied by their past failures and their yet to be experienced future. You will discover an aspect of yourself that uses your past as a distraction. When you are disconnected from being in the moment, this aspect likes to pretend that it is the creator of your life. Every time you embrace life and choose to consciously become aware of what you are inhaling into your life, you discover a great treasure that only exists in the moment consciousness. Such a simple and harmless exercise, and yet its impact is profound. Shifting your attention to being in receivership and using your breath as a focal point will place you directly in front of a very large boulder. This hard place in your life is called your mind. Inhaling life with all of your heart will ask of you on a daily basis, what is my truth? Your mind holds your heart hostage when it assumes responsibility for your life. It terrorizes your ability to trust by constantly replaying memories of your past. It feeds upon life that it perceives to be outside of itself to support its own agenda. It suffers from a self-inflicted wound until one day it is confronted with a new truth. Consciousness is indeed its creator. She has no agenda. She will not force herself into your life, but she does carry with her all of the solutions to all of the problems that torment your mind. She comes into your life each and every time you place your attention on receiving her presence. I, Michael and Yeshua, do not inhale oxygen to support our life, but we do consciously inhale life that supports our truth. The mind, your male nature, is faced with a very uncomfortable truth. All is healed when the mind serves consciousness. We spoke of this year as being a time for great change. The greatest change occurs when you stop battling the hard places in your life. Are you willing to start receiving the solutions you desire without knowing how it will change your life? Unlike your mind, Consciousness is not limited by time and space. Your mind considers consciousness to be a form of magic. It is your mind that wants to describe these messages as being channeled. It uses that term to separate itself from this relationship. In time, the mind will trust its place in this new relationship, embracing a truth that we, your non-physical counterparts, are also you. Each of you now have the capacity to choose your own experience, and yes, it is indeed a choice. Shifting your allegiance from your mind to your consciousness is a profound quantum leap. A choice that will ignite your inherent gift to receive whatever your heart desires. You must choose. Are these thoughts that deny me joy my truth? Is living in my past my truth? Does nature, Gaia, reflect a truth that also applies to me? Can I trust, simply by remembering to inhale life, that my past can be healed? Indeed, can if you allow the feelings from your past to also be on the receiving end of what you are consciously inhaling life. If you stop breathing, your body will certainly die. When you stop receiving, your life becomes predictable, dull, and easy to control by the collective fears of humanity. There exists the opportunity within each of you to experience love and fear, complete opposites coexisting to create a unique form of unity consciousness here on earth. Unity consciousness, the very heart of the kingdom comes to you, breath it in. There exists the potential to claim a freedom that cannot be extracted from your soul. A freedom that allows you to choose to experience the gift of being a creator. You have already tasted the creative abilities of your mind when it separates itself from creation. Consciousness offers itself to be in relationship with the mind as a gift. It is a grand choice. The family of trees stand tall to remind you of your own inherent nature. They are but an extension of this magnificent soul you call Gaia, who allows you to walk upon her body simply to experience a reflection of your own relationship with life. Imagine the joy as you shift your attention on each inhale, embracing life. Imagine experiencing being in the moment. Experiencing renewed vitality, passion, and abundance. Experience the gift of how to consciously create your reality. Experience all the solutions to all the challenges that face your life. Experience your extended family, living side by side, never to feel alone again. Every breath is but another opportunity to reconnect with your own divinity, a new truth and the peace you desire. It's a good fight, mind, but enough is enough. All of our blessings. Archangel Michael.
Matthew Ward, Lighter Planes, with loving greetings from all souls at this station. This is Matthew. A common thought around your world is, I can't believe the year is almost over. Most people who are sensing that time is speeding up don't know what you do, but vibratory rates are accelerating because Earth is moving into progressively lighter planes of energy. But everyone who is sensing that change is in the air is right about that. Your new year will bring forth long-covered-up truths and firm steps toward a world at peace, where cooperation will replace divisiveness and the world's resources will be allocated fairly. Now then, the planet always glows brightly during your month of December as family and friends celebrate traditional holy days and enjoy festivities. But the sparkling illumination comes from more than the upliftment of joyful music, merriment, and religious devotion. During this season there is magnified desire for the betterment of lives everywhere, for comforting persons who are grieving and sharing with those who are burdened by hardships. The heartfelt spirit of the givers and the gratitude of their beneficiaries add to the radiance emanating from Earth, because those emotions like forgiveness, compassion, empathy, and joy are of light's high vibrations. You know how those finest qualities of human nature feel and how love feels, so it is natural to think of love as the special emotion in romantic relationships and feelings for family and dear friends. Love is incomparably more. Love is life itself. When I told that to my mother many years ago, she asked me to explain what love is and how it works in action. This is what I told her. In simplest terms, love is God's sharing of himself with all of his creations. Love is the feeling force of the universe. Love is within the soul and needs only your allowance of those innate sensations of loving others and receiving their love for you. Love has no limitations, no boundaries to its capacity. In expression, love is treating others with kindness, fairness, honesty, compassion, helpfulness, caring. If love can be said to have ingredients, then those are some of the ingredients of godly expression in action. Knowing that you and God and every other of God's creations are inseparable is love. Knowing that Earth is a sentient, conscious life herself and respecting all of her life forms is love. Realizing that no one can know others at soul level and therefore does not judge them but rather does not condone an action seen as injurious is love. Listening to one's God self is love. Living the kind of life that engenders loving self is love. Feeling joy yourself when you see it in others is love. Doing something that brings joy to another is love. Forgiveness of self and others is love. Sharing your resources with full heart is love. Doing good deeds without attaching expectations is love. Feeling peace of heart and mind is love. The quiet thrill of seeing a sunset or hearing a songbird is love, and a smile is one of the simplest and most radiating expressions of love. In any or all of these instances and many others that you may encounter but instinctively you know are of an action, you are manifesting your love for and of God. Excerpt of Love in Everyday Life, Chapter of Illuminations, Mirror. Mother, thank you for inserting that passage. Knowing some of the myriad ways love is expressed lets you see how you, dear light workers, and all other souls living in godly ways are spreading love throughout the planet. It is the infinite, eternal, unequaled power of love that is transforming life in your world. To the dear soul who wrote that the holidays deepen her sadness about all the people who are suffering, we say, the low vibrations of sadness don't help those about whom you are thinking. Please change your thoughts to something that makes you smile, a happy memory perhaps, or a pet's devotion, your favorite photograph or poem. An upcoming pleasant occasion, lightheartedness will follow. Acts of kindness and a smiling greeting to passers-by also lighten your heart and raise the recipient spirit's love in action. With the universal law of attraction in constant operation, and keep in mind that this law has no reasoning ability, it can only bring back something that matches the energy you send forth. Thoughts, feelings and deeds that produce high vibrations contribute immensely to your well-being and your worlds. How about the energies from space and the waves of light coming in? This is part of everything in the universe being in acceleration mode, and it's all to your benefit. Those energies that are increasing the rate of vibrations on the planet and within its residents are undergirding the shifting of polarized attitudes and behavior toward balance, wherein all is light. I just read Matthew's message where he said Earth once was the Garden of Eden. There wouldn't have been vast deserts then or polarized caps, and surely no toxic pollution or violence. What changed Earth into the kind of world it is today? In a word, darkness, originally the planet, the embodiment of the soul named Gaia, was an unpopulated paradise, the Garden of Eden in its entirety. Dear family, you need to know the true history of what today is your homeland, and we shall give you a brief overview. The first people to arrive on the pristine light-filled planet, which then was called John, was a group from Lyra who hoped to find gold. They hadn't obtained clearance from the Intergalactic Council to go there, and hadn't submitted a mining petition because they didn't want to share a potential gold lode with other civilizations. Those violations of universal laws sowed the seeds of deception and greed, and that initiated the low vibrations of negativity on the planet. Then the group brought a subhuman species to do the arduous labor of mining. Harsh treatment of that slave population and damage to the land by gold extraction added negativity. The Dark Forces, a massive and powerful force field of base thought forms that meanders throughout the universe wherever low vibrations attract it, honed and onshore. That was the entry of darkness. During the ensuing years, some of the many populations that lived on the planet came under the spell of the Dark Forces. Their violence and degeneration created so much negativity that it had to be released via earthquakes and volcanic eruption so that Gaia's body could survive. In a series of those essential occurrences, mountain ranges, inland seas, and deep canyons were formed as land masses, and the oceans underwent drastic changes, and twice all life forms would run away in cataclysmic cleansings. However, the Dark Forces remained in the solar system, ever at the ready to influence subsequent inhabitants. Somewhere along the way, Shon also became known as Terra, but both names were forgotten there after a population called the planet Earth. And when negativity once again was amassing due to the influence of the Dark Forces, Earth used her light to sustain the life of her residents. Because there wasn't enough light to preserve the environment, too, lakes and rivers dried, desert areas formed, and the most northern and southern regions became ice. In many different epochs, during approximately 500 million years in linear time, some of the planet's residents were the people you call Neanderthal, the species that evolved from the Lyran slave population, and their more evolved descendants. Other residents came through civilizations in various star systems and were the progenitors of Earth's different races and cultures. They were advanced in intelligence, spirituality, and manifestation capabilities, and those who united with evolving peoples in antiquity endowed their progeny with those high attributes. At some point in universal history, the Dark Forces promised wealth, power, and control to many individuals, and those who succumbed to that lure became their puppets. One of their heinous acts was taking over less experienced civilizations and deactivating all except 2 of their DNA strands to greatly diminish their intelligence, introduce violent tendencies, and make bodies vulnerable to weakness, disease, and a short lifespan. Millennia ago, some of those people started living on Earth, where the puppets easily controlled them through fear, ignorance, perpetual warring, and bare subsistence, conditions that evoked the baddest of human traits. Once again, negativity amassed as they were brutal to each other and to the animals and mindlessly damaged the planet, and once again Earth used her light to support all of her life forms. 80-some years ago, her light had waned to the point that her orbit was so unstable that she was in imminent danger of hurtling into space and certain destruction. Gaia didn't want her body to come to that end, and she didn't want all life to be destroyed again, so she cried out for help. Instantly, God authorized spiritually advanced civilizations to infuse the planet with light to stabilize its axis and let it start rising out of deep third density is low vibrations. Some residents were stood to embrace the light that saved the planet's life, and by so doing, they were able to cast off the puppets' shackles that had held them captive. Earth became a battleground where the universal light forces fought the dark forces and vanquished it from your solar system. Far distant civilizations kept beaming light to uproot the darkness entrenched on the planet, and some of their members volunteered to incarnate there to spread and anchor the light. As more and more of Earth's peoples saw the light, they started generating their own hidden secrets, and activities of the Dark Forces puppets started coming to light. And that brings us to the state of your world today. Now let us look ahead. The deep wounds that darkness had long inflicted on the planet and all of its life forms will heal along Earth's journey to her destination, fifth density, where Gaia remains spiritually and consciously throughout her body's descent from its origin in that density location wise. During the ascension process, the civilization's intelligence level will rise as conscious and spiritual awareness grows, and the planet once again will become as it was created, beauteous, wondrous, peaceful, peaceable. By helping your Earth family awaken so they can manifest the pathway to Earth's golden age in all its glories, you, too, are advancing as multi-dimensional God selves. The Light Sisters and Brothers enter your new year with confidence and optimism. Live the truth of the words in your popular song and inspire others to do the same. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
Love is all. The Federation of Light, Higher Truths. Hello, guys. Are you ready to go on this one? Where to start? Let us help you. You are inquiring about a message we brought through 8 years ago concerning vast containers aboard our ships containing energy. Yes. All thanks to a certain gentleman who asked about them, due to your recent channeling regarding a layer of light ray around the sun. Correct. We indeed, as perhaps assumed, engaged this gentleman's thoughts in order for him to recall and then vigilantly go and search through the many hundreds of our messages to find this particular message that we wanted to bring up. So, firstly, we give honor and gratitude to this gentleman for his perseverance and service. At this point, I'll put the channeling in from February 2010, the message you speak, for it is absolutely necessary that this is read before we continue on. Is that right? Very much so. Thanking you. Here it is. Good evening to you. Is it okay to have a chat? Now is a good time for me. Welcome to you, sister of ours. Now that's an unusual way to address me. And yet it is appropriate and of our choosing. We are most excited with the outcome of the asterisk healing which took place with you just a few of your days ago. Blockages were removed on a level that will leave you astounded at the degree in which we can now work with each other. Where would you care to begin? Oh. Well, I think I prefer to leave it with you. You say you can read our energy, so I'd rather leave it in your capable hands. So be it. We graciously accept. Consider, if you will, all those who have arrived at a place within their being that serves well. Consider the notion that in a very short while, and we mean this on your earthly terms, your world as it is now shall no longer be. You ask of what changes are to occur. We wish to instill into the core of your beings that you have been preparing for this change for long enough, and your beings have adjusted to a level that much now is ready to begin. There is an attitude amongst the hierarchy that asterisk dispels a feeling of upliftment amongst the various ranks of our community. There is an area aboard many ships that has those who have been waiting. Just like you, be of utmost excitement. All is being brought out from its storage units and checked and double-checked to ensure that nothing can be misused or misinterpreted. Could you explain what is exactly in these storage units? I am imagining it is something far more important than your winter clothes. Within blocks of vast containers there are preservatives that enable certain treasures from planes of a higher vibration to be kept in their perfect format. These preservatives allow us to maintain energies from other vibrations and present them in their truest form. It is a delicate operation to bring these valuable assets into the openness of even one of our motherships. So precious are they in their form of glory. I keep feeling that I am not talking to an energy that is actually a ship right now. This is so. We come from a level of understanding that is above those who are in a position of great importance upon these vessels that are to deliver to you the light of the new world. So, are you saying, those on the ship actually have the light to give us? Yes, that is correct. Let us explain a little more for your minds to be able to accept that which we are offering in words this night. For eons of your time it has been known by many that there are indeed light ships in your skies. It is nothing new. And yet, it is only now in this day and age that we can reveal higher truths due to the upliftment of the vibration of your planet. The Great Plan is supremely on target and all is dwelling in its rightful place in order for everything to come together in the divinity of that which is proposed. There are many more now on your earth that have awoken to their own divinity, which has brought forth this great change that is occurring at this very moment and shall continue to do so. It is so very exciting for us to know that we are on the brink of revealing the secrets that have had to be kept from you purely because your world was not ready to receive it. This light of which we speak, this divine grace. Again we stumble with the inadequacy of words, has traveled with the keepers of the light in safety beyond measure, until such a time that it can be presented to you. I can feel this pounding in my heart at the moment, and yet, it seems we are having trouble expressing that which you wish to say. We shall persevere. It is merely the new vibration in which we are working is settling down with both parties. This light, this treasure, is a gift to your world from a place that is not of substance. It is a purifying energy that when released into your atmosphere shall begin a photosynthesis of a nature as yet unknown to you. When this happens, there will be noticeable changes that cannot be dismissed or denied. May I ask, in what way do you mean? In a way that will send your senses reeling. For it will be obvious to you in a flash that all these knowings you have had regarding your new world will be happening and transpiring right in front of you. These new sprinklings shall make headlines on your TV screens. Such new phenomena shall arise and cause much interest all over your globe. Sprinklings. We thought you may question our choice of words. Your answer being, we shall very gently be sprinkling particles of this divine light energy a little at a time to your planet and allow it to do its work. It is that for a time, it is possible for only small amounts to be diffused, otherwise it could cause a little mayhem due to its immense power. The integration must take place gradually. Your physical bodies too shall notice a difference with this new energy. There will be a lighter feeling within the actual physical body. Marvelous. Will my scales have proof of this? I can't think of anything more magical. It will begin with a feeling from within that will contain lightness throughout the being. As if one is experiencing at times as if they are walking on air. This is fab news, because as you are bringing this information through, I can feel a touch of this lightness you are speaking. And let me say, it feels good. Let us then say, it is wise to keep grounded also. For one could become a little too deeply involved in the feeling that the earthly matters get left behind, and yet we say this is not yet the correct time for that to happen. There has to remain the balance. That is one of the reasons many of you light beings are here. To bring in and anchor this new light energy that we have so very delicately been looking after. Now you sound like you are on Slash from the ship. It is a little perplexing for you, is it not? Well, yes. 1 minute you're on it, the next you're not. I therefore ask you with the deepest respect, who exactly are you? And we would reply, we are the bringers of peace. We are not of your world. We are not of form. We that are communicating with you in this present moment are only of light. Therefore we can be on Slash off as we see fitting. We have spoken to you before regarding overseers of the overseers. We are an embodiment of light that is most happy to be working with this great plan and making sure that all is in place. We are the ones who make decisions regarding any quick changes that may have to be put in place. And yes, we read your thoughts. We are the ones who made the most serious decision to abort the mission that was promised on the date of your October 14th. This, as you are well aware, was not something for those in lesser ranks to decide. It came from the highest council, and we can say that we chose well to do what we did. The outcome, had we gone ahead as planned, would have been a miserable one for a vast number of those residing on your planet. When the time is appropriate, we shall offer more information on that matter, for we feel it is important that it is understood what actually took place. And yet we would ask you to be patient. For come the time when we choose to open up the realities of what we were confronted with, it will seem in perfect asterisk coercience and be more fully understood. Could you just talk a little more about this light? I had never really thought of a new vibration, a new energy being transported in a ship. I had always imagined it would just sort of stream down from above. How can we assist in explaining to you what it actually is? Perseverance, I guess. And yet, We would again stress that not all things of our enlightenment can be expressed by us in a way that you are able to even visualize. Keep trying. The keepers of the light would be likened to what are known in your world as the Knights Templar. The keepers of the light are not of a regular disposition. They are of the highest embodiment, and they have been entrusted to protect this form of light that is destined to bring in the new world into its existence. That's a pretty heavy-duty task. How were these keepers chosen, and how many are there? For it is of the divine number. How were they chosen? They were a distinguished band that presented themselves to the highest council. The choosing of such a band of light was undertaken through a series of what you would term as tests, and yet again, this is only a word that is appropriate for explanation purposes. The tests as such were undergone by the keepers before they were in a position to present themselves. Not unlike in your world when young spirits are trained in a certain monastery to be of service when they are older. It is a very similar situation, and yet not in the same fashion, but this is the closest we can come to help you understand. So, this light then travels on board under the greatest, most sacred protection until it is time to do what it is meant to do. This is correct. You see, dear one, it is not, as you may imagine, a vast container in which this light is stored. These containers harbor the, shall we say, condensed version. It is a never-ending source that is contained there. When you say the keepers protect it, who from? From itself. Which means, this force of light is of itself only. It knows only of itself. Nothing else. It is contained, therefore, in a way that is kept under control. For as we have said, if it were to be presented in its fullness, all at once, your planet would be close to, the word we would use would be, disintegrating. So how do the keepers protect it from itself? By keeping it safe. The containers/chambers this source of light resides in is of an advanced technology that allows its compressed form to remain comfortable within. These chambers are scanned and monitored in order to keep the treasure within in its most appropriate state at any given time. We seem to have to grasp what we started out by speaking of. And yet it is of our intention now to disclose such things that until now have remained out of your knowledge base. Although we would say some are aware and some will recall from their memory banks information that is already known to them. For as we say, many of you are here to help anchor this light as it sprinkles through. Well, I am feeling as if we are coming to the end of our session for now. Indeed, this is correct. We would not wish to overindulge, for we are learning of the energy it involves upon your human form. It is not the same for us, yet we chose to be vigilant on your behalf. Jolly good. As long as you've got it all under control. I've really enjoyed tonight. Thank you for imparting that information. Good stuff, what? We bid you adieu. I would very much like to have an explanation soon as to why this adieu thing has been happening lately. It never did before, particularly, that I can recall. And that definitely is to me a sign that my mate White Cloud is about. All in good time, dearest lady. All in good time. Fair enough. I can handle that. Good night to you. Sweet dreams. Our realities. Until next time. We send our blessings to all. Asterisk, I was very blessed to receive a healing from a wonderful light worker who was visiting Musa last weekend. WHTE Cloud had asked her to do so, and yet when she visited, I said I was feeling so well now and didn't feel in need of a healing, so we had a cuppa and a chat instead. However, when I began meditation that evening, straight away I heard, you need to have the healing. I called her the next day and she too had got through later in the day. It would be wise for Blossom to have the healing. Who are we to argue? So I had it. And clearly it was necessary. Many thanks to a very special soul indeed. Asterisk dispels. I thought this an odd word to use. The dictionary says, as if by scattering. So I suppose it fits. Asterisk coergens. For the life of me I cannot find out what this word means, and yet it comes up in a few sentences when I Google it. If anyone can assist, many thanks. And let's hope it makes sense in the sentence. Back to the present. Okay, so where to from here? To continue on. These containers have been of service over these last years. We would say in your terms, approximately 7. Until that point, the vibration of your planet was not of a frequency that would have been able to fuse and benefit from them and would have caused mayhem should the energies have been released too early, too soon. We would liken that which we speak of to a large block of ice and little cubes being severed from it and melted and sprinkled into your atmospheres. These particles of energy are strictly measured, like a recipe that must adhere to correct levels in order to produce the perfect cake. Too much would not serve. Too little would do the same. I guess we would like to know what exactly this energy is, what it contains. Love, dearest Blossom. These vast containers contain higher vibrational energies of love. It is as pure and simple as that, and yet, we understand why you would be thinking, well, just pour the whole lot on this planet because it sure could do with it. Yet, you read my mind. This could not be tolerated by your present energies. We would go as far as to say that if this was to take place, your planet would be reduced back to its original form, an energy of love. Nothing left. No world to speak of. No, nothing. Just back to love, and this is not what you are all, that is trying to accomplish. So many questions running through my head. So, why now? Why make it happen to bring this up again? For, let's be honest, like so many of your communications, it could have been buried in the archives of time forever. Because now is the time when we are not just doubling, yet tripling the size of the cubes. This is why you are all going through so much. This is why you are hitting rock bottom and yet, next minute, soaring through the rooftops. The intensity of the energy coming in has reached a place where it is perfectly aligned in order to coincide with all that is to take place. We have spoken of recently/ever as reaching a stumbling block. What? Did I receive that correctly? Yes. Yet, there is no cause for concern, in any way, shape, or form. For, we have seen it ahead. We are aware of it and therefore, we find it necessary to amp up the vibes and indeed, the situation. It is for us to take control and make sure that this blockage is immediately dampened down/out, so that we may all carry on along a smooth course. Well, of course, I have to ask what this blockage is. Yet, already aware with respect, I will not get a straight answer. For that would not be suitable. We play our opponents at their own game. Secrecy is best acknowledged in this particular case. Fair enough. I won't press further. Yet, we shall continue in that vein to say also that the amping up of sending through the energy in larger doses is silently, behind the scenes, having a greater effect than we ever thought it would/might. It is, yes, causing turbulence in a fashion that upturns the energy of the beings who are conducting affairs that are certainly not of the heart. This driving force of energy/light love is causing many to think again, rather likened to in your fairy tales when the wicked witch repents and becomes virtuous. This is happening more quickly than we anticipated and is most joyful to encounter. What this stronger energy also accomplishes is to wipe out and, as we say, upturn plans that are underway to demolish a good. Meaning, it is nothing new to many of you that there are those in command/control of your planet Earth that have an ideal to reduce the numbers of those who live upon it. Their plans to bring this about are quite severe. Yet, there are certain universal laws/rules that have to be abided by, and these plans that are underway are breaking all the rules. This cannot be allowed. Even though they think they are getting away with it, intervention shall be called in to counteract such devious thoughts and plans. No matter what any of you may have heard or read and maintained into your thought system, it will not be allowed to go as far as the intent of the hierarchy that is in place. We clarify, due to your thoughts, Blossom, that by hierarchy, in this placement, we speak of those in a higher ranking system that is not for the greatest good. We would like to return to the energy containers. Good. Should I here neatly slip in about the pillars of light? I know it was the end of 2011 when you spoke of those. I know, because I threw a tantrum and decided to knock off our communications for a while due to a misunderstanding of time zones. So, are these containers part of the pillars of light? Yes, they are. Very much so. If you recall, in the channeling through of the message of old, we explained that the energy blocks were a condensed version. For want of a better way of putting it, An easier way to show would be that of a small piece of sponge, and when immersed in water, it expands. A poor, yet understandable analysis. Therefore, when the timing is correct, certain portions of this block are carefully removed and released into your energy fields. You want to say something else about before they are released, don't you? Yes. Thank you. It was a matter of order of wording. Yet, to slip back into the position of portions being carefully removed, they are then. Wow. We are both struggling here to get this across. Words, words. As you say, so inadequate. I can see in my mind what you mean, yet, no words to express. Let's keep on trying. Many thanks. These portions are then. Section 10. How would we say in your terms? The easiest way being put into chambers where their role is made clear. In that, within these chambers, information is infused into them. When complete, they are sealed and treated before being released into / onto your planet. I fully get that this is merely a way of trying to interpret to us what happens. For we do not have your technology that you are using in our thought waves. God, I sound quite intelligent. This is exactly right, Blossom. So much more is involved and yet inexpressible. I may have asked before, yet, what kind of information? Information that your beings already know and yet have not been ready / in a position to receive. Information that makes total sense as to your next moves. Information as to exactly what it is that you are to do next. What? Each one of us. Just a few. What? How does it work? It is of a majorly complex design. As these pillars move through your skies, some visibly, some not, they will deposit information into the beings who need to receive it. Different information for some than others. It is a matter of coding, which takes us onto another track altogether. Lordy Lord, I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. The codes within each living organism, each soul, are unique and individual, and as we have discussed before, are ever changing. The codes within the pillars and the energies coming through from these containers are matched and change correspondingly to fall into place with its twin energy as it moves through. This is amazing. Although mind-boggling and very much out of this world, it somehow is competing with my understanding, and believe me, I ain't no rocket scientist. You are saying, in a nutshell, that these pillars of light, and also, just in general the tripling of the cubes of energy coming through, are informationally coded. These codes are ever changing to coincide with the ever-changing codes that each and every individual upon the planet has with every thought, and when passing by, matches up with / drops into that particular individual, the information that she / is designed for. In a nutshell, yes. If I thought it appropriate to swear in these communications, I could be dropping one that begins with F right now and in capitals. Not only that. I can't believe I have followed all this. You have followed it well and easily. You estimate your capabilities greatly. Actually, I am well aware that my understanding is because you are assisting me in doing so. Yet, I will accept the compliment. I feel we are done for now, and also, taking into account that all this is added onto the 2010 message, so many souls' brains may be frazzled by now. Once again, we thank the gentleman for his devout search. We know you would not have had the time or inclination or patience to do so. Correct. I know he is over the moon just by the fact that I said I would certainly be bringing it up in the next channeling. In his words, what an unexpected treat I received scouring about 5 years' worth of your writings. It felt like I had stepped into some kind of time machine and was soaring through a gold and GEM-filled chamber. Maybe a reminder for us all when we have nothing better to do the same. Many thanks, guys. It just gets more and more out there. So unreal from all that I grew up with, yet so real in my soul's acceptance of truth. In gratitude, in loving service, I am. We very much enjoy our communications and are also in much gratitude to be of such service. Archangel Gabriel, it's safe to let your light shine. Dear one, at the very heart of you is the pure light of God. This light has the ability to change your thinking and change your outer world. It is a light which, like a flame when fanned, can fill every cell, every fiber of your being and transform you. Fanning this flame means giving the light within you a time of focused attention. Your imagination holds the key to transforming your life. What you believe can be achieved. Even before you believe something is true, you can allow the possibility to be there and imagine it to be true. Wherever you focus your attention, your life force energy will follow. Practice. Imagine the light within you shining brightly. Give yourself a moment to feel deeply, and as you exhale, imagine a golden light beam moving from the base of your spine into the earth. As you continue to breathe, feel this deep connection to the earth relax you and provide a strong base within you. Now, bring your attention to your heart center, the energy field in the middle of your chest. Imagine there is a glowing flame of light burning there. As you breathe in, this flame grows larger and brighter. As you breathe out, the light from this flame begins to fill your body. Continue to breathe and imagine this light expanding behind your shoulders and down your back. Feel it filling every organ and every cell. This is the light of pure spirit, the healing love of God. This light fills you with the divine presence and radiates from you in waves of love. Now imagine this light shining from you and blessing your house, the area where you live and the planet. Imagine this loving light blessing all the people you meet today. It's a good feeling to send light to others as well as to yourself. This light promotes healing energy in the world around you and in your own body. Peace begins within the heart of each person individually. God's light, shining from the heart of each person on earth, would bring peace to the planet and transform the world. It's safe to let your light shine. Maybe when you were a child, it did not feel safe to be who you really were inside, innocent, trusting and filled with the light of love. But the consciousness of the people in the world is beginning to change. Now people everywhere are turning to spirituality as the only place where they can find true peace and happiness. They are longing for more sweetness and love in their lives. So the angels say, "Fear not." When you shine your love light on the world, you will be a loving presence. You don't have to say anything. Your energy alone will have a transforming effect. The visualization of the flame of love in your heart shining out to the people of earth is very potent. No matter what is happening around you, keep this visualization moving through you. It takes a little practice, but it will have a healing effect even if you can't see it. Just your willingness to imagine it is enough to create a light shining from within you. This light is that which connects you and everyone around you to the infinite power of divine love. The Master Jesus suggested that your light should not be hidden under a bushel. Let your light shine forth to bless the world, every area in your life, and bring the true divine radiance of God into the awakening of new life you are all experiencing. Remember your message from Archangel Gabriel for today. It's safe to let your light shine. Shanta Gabriel. For Archangel Gabriel. We have seen enough of the interactions between humans to know what the motivating factor is for most of your connections. You often want to feel appreciated, loved, and even adored by those that you come in contact with, and yet, you are coming in contact with someone else who wants to be appreciated, loved, and possibly even adored. There is a better way to go about interacting with each other. You want to fill yourselves up with the love that you truly are before you get together with anyone, and even before you have an encounter with a stranger. You want to feel that love flowing through you as much as possible, and you want that love to be coming from within you. Whether you realize it or not, the love that you seek from others, and even the appreciation, and certainly the adoration, is conditional. You want to be able to walk up to the crankiest of people and have that cranky person validate you. You want to be the only one that he or she finds acceptable. There is a problem, of course, with this approach. You don't often get what you want from others. So what we recommend is that you write down all of the things that you want to receive from others, and be perfectly honest with yourselves when you make that list. And then ask yourselves how you can find everything that's on your list within you. Wherever you need to go with that consciousness of yours, whatever chakras you need to explore, make sure you are willing to give yourselves everything that you have ever asked someone else to give you, and come to your interactions with another with the intention to give more. Give more praise. Give more appreciation. Be willing to give to the other person not because he or she has met certain conditions. Do so because you want to feel it flowing through you. The Ta, perfect and eternal expressions of Source. Ta, it is the fervent desire of each and every one of you to become the more. To become the more of who you truly are. To become that which is termed to be the fullest expression called God/Goddess realized in human form. You have brought yourself forth in this incarnation, in this time frame, for a journey. In a way, you may say that indeed the journey has northwest destination because the place that you are all yearning to get to is where you already are now. The journey of this incarnation is to simply experience transformation, to experience that which is the transforming of your own beingness, to live in expanded consciousness in the full and absolute knowing of the grand truth of you. And what is your grand truth? What is it truly? What is this wondrousness that you have all come forth to experience? It is to come to know absolutely, without a doubt, that you are in every now, no matter how it seems, a perfect and eternal expression of creation. Softly, a perfect and eternal expression of creation. That is why you have come forth, my beloved ones. So what is it that keeps you separate in your day-to-day life from this knowing, separate from this truth? Speaks kindly. Well, my beloved ones, what keeps you separate is a tiny little fear. That is all. A tiny little fear. The tiny little fear that you are not enough. Well, of course you are, because you are a perfect eternal expression of creation no matter what. We say to you that even that little fear that you are not enough, that little fear that you might miss the boat somehow, the little fear that comes up now and again that you are powerless, the little fear that you are not worthy, the little fear that you inhabit a hostile world, those little fears you cannot get rid of. Do not be so horrified. We remind you that you can get rid of nothing. And every time you are trying to release, get rid of, to push away, to unblock, you are invalidating that baby fear. And whatever you invalidate, you empower, and whatever you resist persists absolutely. You know that one, Well, of course you do. So what you are here to learn is how to embrace every facet of you into the light of your own beingness. To wrap the love around what has been unlovable. To embrace the unembraceable. After all, my beloved ones, what is enlightenment? What is this one ascension that you are all struggling for? Well, it is simply the natural result of eye-opening every facet of you. And there is nothing else. No magic pills and potions, no magic words, no magic guru, not even this old one, who is going to do it for you. This experience called incarnation in this now is for you to come into your own power. To realize sovereignty, to realize free dominion. To remember that you and only you have a choice in every now how you will perceive who you are and how you will perceive your reality. And you create it all absolutely. You know that. You create it all, and if you do not like what you are creating in your day-to-days, then you may change it. That is your privilege. You are worthy of all wondrousness simply because you exist, because you are in every now, no matter how it seems, a perfect, eternal expression of Source. So how is the struggle going, beloved ones? Working hard at it, are you? Trying to be spiritual indeed. That is a contradiction in terms, trying to be what you absolutely are. You know all of this is not about being good. It is about being who you are. Being your truth, being all that you can be in every now. And you know when you are not being all that you can be in every now, it is only a tiny little part of you, a tiny little facet of you, a baby part, a baby boy or a baby girl that lives within the breast of you who has forgotten the great truth. Through anguish and heartbreak, through programming, through your tapping into what is said to be the collective consciousness of your species, you have come to misconceptions about who you are, misperceptions about your world. Well, my beloved ones, now is the time for changement. Now. It is now. That is why you are all here, to come to know this wondrousness, to come to know the joy, to come to experience and to know with every fiber of your being the most wondrous uniqueness that you truly are, a perfect and eternal expression of Source. Many of you are breathing a sigh of relief, for your world is is starting to blossom in ways you did not expect. You are relaxing into your new being. And as you do, stress and angst are slowly fading away. Such is not true for all, for many of you have yet to reach that point of no return. That point in which you declare yourself sovereign and free. Something almost impossible to comprehend until you do so. For you have trained for eons to report, to expect someone wiser than you to care for you. This aha moment might be almost invisible to your outer being or could result in actions or words you did not expect. The result, whether the action of selfless to selfhood is big or small, is that you become you in your totality. Such reactions are difficult to describe until you enter the freedom door. Suffice it for you to know that such is going to happen soon if it has not already happened. For there is much you need to claim and decipher before your new year. This is a time of acknowledging your being and allowing others to do the same. In the past, you hid your true being, your true power behind the curtain of selflessness. Such is no longer appropriate or needed, as you will determine when observing others caretaking or functioning as victims. Functioning as a victim or caretaker once earned you societal points. With each point, you further enmeshed yourself in 3D society until there was a need to create karma, a way to salvage that which you had lost or given away. But with each karmic action, you became more deeply enmeshed. For if you harmed someone in one life, they repaid you in another, developing the need for you to do the same in yet another life, continuing victimization lifetime after lifetime. And doing so narrowed your interactions to those with whom you had interacted before, creating a sense of doom and fear which only deepened with each Earth return. Even though that explanation is generalized, the gist is that you interacted with the same humans in different form Earth lifetime after lifetime, creating a pattern of fear and retaliation. Now that you are to expand your human interaction horizons, you fear what new entities will bring to your life. Even though such is not necessary, it is a natural result of eons of interacting with the same or mostly the same entities in fear. You are expanding your interactions to those you have never interacted with while of Earth, and you are a bit frightened that such interactions will create new karma, something you no longer wish to experience. Your new interactions will create karma of sorts, but not as you now anticipate. For your past life memories while of the Earth are that karma was an unending circle of fear, forgiveness, retaliation, and new fears. So it is that you are stepping into this new phase with trepidation. Such is not necessary, but you will not believe that is true until you experience it. You might continue to interact with those from past 3D lives, but on a much different level.
Oh my gosh.
For you will declare your self-sufficiency to those familiar with your victim/caretaking roles in lifetime after lifetime. Your declaration might be almost unnoticed by you, or it could be created as a result of your inner strength bubbling to the surface in an explosion of selfhood that you did not expect. It does not matter how you declare your freedom, for declaring your freedom is your next phase. A phase that will likely surprise both you and the recipients of your declaration. For your need for free will outdistance any need to fit within. It is then and only then that you will begin your general phase of earth love. For you will declare your freedom and thereby self-love before you allow yourself to move into the bigger sphere of love and acceptance. Many of you are stating that you love others even if you have no personal knowledge of them. We beg to differ. For at this point, if it made a negative difference in your life whether you accepted new beings into your circle, you would decline to do so. That is, until you declare your freedom from the boundaries of your current life. For those boundaries are enmeshed with others you have created karma with lifetime after lifetime. This transition is not about repetition, but creating anew. Both the earth and human physicality, plus broadening your horizons to all instead of the few you interacted with lifetime after lifetime. It is time to expand your interaction horizons. The first step of which is to declare your freedom from repeating that with which you are most familiar, including specific humans and locations. Your world is about to split open in more ways than you now can understand. Do not berate yourself for becoming angry or declaring your freedom. Nor do you need to be frightened. For this declaration is little different than you graduating from college and declaring you have the right to determine your future actions. Of course, you might change course several times when you are feeling your way forward. But the gist of that freedom is that you no longer have karmic debts to fear or play with, nor are you tied to the one small group of entities you have played with for eons. You are free and always have been. You are merely declaring the freedom to yourself and anyone willing or needing to listen. So be it. Amen.
Welcome to our channel. Please share our videos on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, with your friends. Do not forget to do like, subscribe and comments on our video. Love you. Much love. Wish you always luck in life. This message begin right now. Dearest light workers, at this time there is much turmoil and fear on your beloved planet. Many people are living in fear, and the fear is being amplified by your media. And so the general mood of the collective consciousness is anxious and fearful and stressed. You do not have to be there too, dearest ones. You can make the choice to be in your inner peace and tranquility. You can make the choice to live in the radiant light of your heart and spirit. Take a moment to look around you. Breathe deeply and see your home, your own sacred place. See the clothes that you wear and the food that you eat. See your family and your friends. Know that you are safe and that you are protected and that you are cared for in this time of transition. For, as the old paradigm falls away and the old energy dissipates, many people seem caught in a place of seeming limbo, neither in one nor the other. They feel as if they have no true foundation for their lives, and they feel stressed and they panic easily. But, dearest light workers, if you move deep within, into the light of your heart, and feel deep within you the essential love at your core, you will know that you are safe and you will find that inner peace and courage that will sustain you and create a solid foundation for the new paradigm and the new earth grids. Creating a new foundation for your life, dearest light workers. So many of you tell us that you are depressed and anxious, or that you are having accidents involving your legs and feet, or that you are falling and injuring your body. Well, we will say, unfortunately you have temporarily lost your balance and your footing, so to speak. Your foundation is not strong enough to support your life any longer. Or, as is common with many light workers, you are top heavy. You are giving out so much light and energy from your heart and throat and brow that your lower chakras are unable to support the intensity. And know that as increased light and radiance pours in through your crown chakras in this process of change and evolution, you will need to have a strong foundation in your lower chakras. There are two paths that we can recommend to work with this energy balancing that is necessary right now. The first is being with your inner child and allowing the joy and wonder of life to infuse your being once again. For the inner child is the foundation of your adult life and being, and provides the beliefs and attitudes that create the support for the adult reality. The second path is becoming very grounded into the new earth grids and living the truth of the new paradigm in your daily life. Firstly, let us consider the inner child. The child within is so easily traumatized and made to feel unsafe if it is not nurtured and parented in a loving and supportive way. At this time of transition and deep survival fear within the collective consciousness, it is important that you spend time with your inner child and allow it to express its fears, but also its love and fun and playfulness. Become aware of how your inner child is feeling at any time, especially times of stress. The natural laughter of the inner child when it is allowed to feel safe because it knows it is loved, will lighten your heart and allow that light to pour through your being and into your base chakra. It will enable you to connect with the power of the earth grids through your base chakra, and to feel the love and nurturing of the earth. As we have indicated earlier, dearest light workers, it is only possible to keep people locked into fear if they are ungrounded. When you connect with the earth, you will know that you are safe. Spirit will guide you and the earth will sustain you. That is the divine plan for human life. But, when spirit and body are not aligned, and when the light of your being cannot ground into the earth, then you will feel as if you are neither guided nor sustained. And the way to align body and spirit is to allow yourself to be fully grounded into the new energies and to live your truth. Know that you are safe and provided for, and that you have a right to share in the natural flow of abundance. As soon as you allow yourself to trust the earth in the plane of matter, it will reward you with the gifts of its abundance, as this is the original design for human life on earth. But, when you are not grounded and live in fear, then the flow cannot find you and you will feel unsafe and anxious. Living in the new paradigm, we do understand, dearest light workers, how difficult it is to live fully in the new when the old paradigm, with its fear and manipulation of reality, holds so strongly on your consciousness. But we ask you to focus on the new. For where you place your focus and intention, that will be energized and grow. So focus on ways of living in peace and harmony with others as far as is possible at this time. Be empowered and courageous, and be firm about your intentions and your desires. Focus on unconditional love and how you might best share this with others. For the communities of the new paradigm will be based on sharing, the sharing of love and skills and joy and material assets. And, most of all, trust that all is well and that all is in divine order. The turbulence and chaos is a manifestation of the clash of energy as the old falls away and the new earth rises. Align with the new earth, enter into your heart's light, and you will know the inner peace and tranquility that is available to you right now. It is only when you find that inner peace that you will experience the outer peace and the true energy of the new earth.
around for a long, long year. So many a man sold and clear. I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. I remember the kind of washed his hands and sealed his face. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. What's puzzling you is the nature of my game. I stuck around St. Petersburg, but it's always time for change. He was a czar and his ministers, and states that screamed in vain. I rode a tank, held the general's reign, when the victory raged and the body stained. Pleased to meet you, hope you guessed my name. For you. Oh, what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. I watched you bleed while the teaching queen fought for decades for the gods that paid. I shouted out humanities. After all, it was you and me. Let me please introduce myself. I'm a man with wealth and taste. I lay traps through the door to get killed before they reach Bombay. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. What's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. What's confusing you? Just the nature of my game. Just as every cop is a criminal, no sinner sane. As heads and tails, just call me Lucifer. I'm in need of some restraint. So if you meet me, ask for courtesy, ask some sympathy and some taste. Use all your well-earned politely, or I'll lay your soul to waste. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Tell me, baby, what's my name? Tell me, honey, can you guess my name? Tell me, baby, what's my name? I'll tell you one more time, what's my name? rolled along for the 10th time today, and I practiced all the things I would say. She came over, I lost my nerve. Turned her back and I made her deserve. Now I know, not me and you. That's okay, cause I like the abuse. Now I know she's playing with me. That's okay, cause I got no self-esteem. Oh, yeah. We make plans, go out and dance. Wait till 2, then I turn off the light. All these projections got me so low. She keeps it up, I just might turn it slow. Oh, she's saying that she wants only me. I wonder why she wants to be with my friends. She's saying that I'm not the disease. Then I wonder how much more I can stand. Well, I guess I should stick up for myself, but I think it's really better this way. The more you suffer, the more it shows you really care. Right. Now I relate this little bit that happens more than I'd like to admit. She knocks on my door, drunk again, looking to score. Now I know I should say no. It's kinda hard when she's ready to go. I may be down, but I'm not a queen. I'm just a sucker with no self-esteem. Oh, she's saying that she wants only me. I wonder why she won't be with my friends. Is she saying that I'm not the disease? Then I wonder how much more I can spend. But I guess I should stick up for myself. But I really think it's better this way. The more you suffer, the more it shows you really care. Right.